Welcome to another edition of the CEO's blog. We've got plenty to talk about, and thank you for joining us, John.
My pleasure, Amanda.
All right, let's talk about, we had some good news about the Trotters Inter-Dominion.
Yeah, the Trotters Inter-Dominion Championship will be back. A little bit of history, the Inter-Dominion and the Trotters were separated some 10 years ago. We continue to run the Pacers Championship, but the Inter-Dominion Event Committee and also Harness Racing Australia and Harness Racing New Zealand on representation from the three hosts, Harness Racing Victoria, Harness Racing New South Wales, Club Menangle and the Auckland Trotting Club have permitted the reuse of the Trotters Inter-Dominion. So it's great now that we'll have this traditional format where we've got the Pacers Championship and the Trotters Championship held at the same venue and over championships like it was in the past.
Okay, so with similar to the Pacers Championship, there'll be heats for the Trotters as well on the same time?
Absolutely,
yeah, okay.
Yes. Similar, maybe not as many heats, but still it'll follow that heats into a final series, and it will, we believe, that the partners, it will reinvigorate the Inter-Dominion.
Okay, well, it's I guess it come at a good time this month here in New South Wales. It's there's a strong focus on Trotters. It's starting this Saturday night at Menangle with the Group 3 La Cucaracha.
Yes, and the Oaks. Don't forget the Oaks. Very strong field there. But the commitment by Harness Racing New South Wales and Club Menangle to Trotters is very evident. And this is just another indication that the Trotters are important in New South Wales, and we will be focusing on them with a strategy, taking it forward, because we want strong representation. When the Trotters Inter-Dominion comes to New South Wales in 2020, we want New South Wales to be well and truly represented in those heats and hopefully into the finals. Okay,
well this year with the Trotters as well, it's going to be a bit different with the Breeders' Challenge Series. The trotting versions of those races are going to be held on a separate card.
Yeah, well, it's moved a little bit away from the Breeders' Challenge. It's called Trotted Out, so they're still there, but we want to give a focus and not let them get lost with the Pacers races.
Yeah. So they're all on the same night. I think it's end of this month.
Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about, we had a bit of news this week regarding the Newcastle's Tab Carnival of Cups. It was meant to be held this Saturday night, but there's a lot happening in Newcastle this Saturday, so there's been a meeting transferred to May 26th now.
Yeah, it was the most logical thing to do. It's unfortunate that the Newcastle race meeting had to be moved, but it's most fortunate for the community of Newcastle that their team, the Jets, are in the A-League final. Sensible thing to do. The club worked proactively with it. The sponsor was all on board, because when you get sponsors, you really have to look after them, and they could recognise that there's a focus, of course, on the A-League in Newcastle, in that community. So yeah, we moved to the 26th of May, and the Ross Gig Memorial Newcastle Mile will be run on that date, and Club Menangle came to the help with those horses that were nominated, and they've been all integrated into the fields. And of course, for the owners and trainers and drivers, the $30,000 race that wasn't going to be run at Menangle, that was going to be run but now isn't run at Newcastle, will be run back at Menangle.
Yeah. Well, for those that don't know and that haven't been in Newcastle, the stadium where the A-League Grand Final is right next door to the track, so it'd be just very congested. Oh yeah,
and shared facilities, shared parking.
Yeah.
Certainly shared streets getting into the transport would have been. It will be in chaos anyway because it's a sellout. So anyway, it was the right way to go about it.
Okay, so we still have the Newcastle Oaks on this Saturday night, but the Newcastle Derby and the Ross Gig Newcastle Mile have been moved to May 26th.
That's it.
Okay. All right, while we're on the topic of Tab Carnival of Cups, we still have one this weekend at Forbes on Sunday. Yeah,
Forbes, a good meeting, 8-race program. The hard-working club and committee will do a great job. So Western Districts, Forbes is the location for the Tab Carnival Cups this week.
Okay, will you be heading out there?
I certainly will be.
Okay, so you're going to be a bit busy. I believe you've got a meeting on Thursday and Friday with Harness Racing Australia.
Yeah, it's the year meeting, even though we're not quite in June, and it's where all the executive of Harness Racing Australia, the chief executives get together and make some decisions. The stewards had their conference only a fortnight ago, and quite a few things flow through from there, like whips, like change of tactics. They go the next stage, the next step, and we will discuss them at the chief executives level. Then we'll go to the executive, and the executive is made up of the chairman of the controlling bodies, and things actually happen and things move. Sometimes, you know, some of the stakeholders think we sit on our hands, but there is a process, there is consultation, and things will come out of these meetings for sure.
Okay, well, do you think you'll be able to let us know anything next week when we film the CEO's blog?
I'll always let you know something next week on the CEO's blog.
Okay, very good. All right, let's talk about iForm again. We're still running a review here in New South Wales, and we're going to put out some surveys and ask the participants and people that like iForm what they think of it and what they like.
Yes, Amanda, and for all those people who have contributed so far, thank you. What we're now doing is we'll have a poll on Twitter, so you know, take advantage of that opportunity, and also there'll be to all stakeholders a Survey Monkey, which this will run for about a month. And then we will have some definitive results of how we do iForm, what's the best way, and everything needs to be, as we know in this sport, cost effective, and that's part of the process as well.
Yeah, okay. I think that wraps up this edition. Thank you, John, for your time.
Well, it does, but you're not going to be here for the next 3.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
I won't be.
Maybe you will be. But anyway, have a great break. You're away doing all that research on iForm, on handicapping, on everything you do.
Change of tactics.
Change of tactics as well. No whipping, of course, but anyway, have a nice break, and we'll see you towards the end of May.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda.